expecting to be in Sunday school today. So I've got to say, and I've been doing a lot of thinking the past couple of weeks because we have two projects that I've been working on with the youth group and with the Sunday school, and so you're going to have today a few of my thoughts on Lent and gardens. Today the Sunday school and the youth group are working together. This is an idea that came up, it was Elaine's idea actually, in the fall. She was wondering if there was something that the youth group and the Sunday school could do together. Because she was noticing that they don't actually, because we have the cave, and the youth group people like to go into the cave, well, they do that, and there are specific leaders for the Sunday school, but they don't actually spend that much time together anymore. It used to be that the youth group kids teenagers would kind of rotate being leaders in the Sunday school, and so they get to know each other that way, but because of the cave, that's not the way it is anymore. And she was thinking it would be really nice if the teenagers and the children got to know each other a little bit. So we were trying to figure out something that would be good for both, not just be something where the youth group help out, but where it's actually a project that they work on together. And we came up with a garden. Because a couple of years ago, you may remember, we had the youth group did the garden outside the back doors, and we grew huge numbers of squash and zucchini, and we had a zucchini fiesta at the end of the summer, and it was great. It was lots of fun. Because I had the nerve to go on vacation last year, we didn't do it because my timing was off. But we're back in full force this year, and this year, this is what the youth group and Sunday school project will be, is that they're going to work together on building this garden and making it hopefully bigger and better than it was previously, so expect a lot of squash and zucchini in your future. Today, they're going to be, over the whole time, the way it's going to work is that each month it's going to be called Seed Sunday. So today's first Seed Sunday, and there'll be another in March and April and May and so on. And that'll be the focus of the day. We'll be learning about gardens, but really about stewardship. Making the link between stewardship of plants, which is one thing that God asked us to do when He gave us this earth, and stewardship of people as well. And this all comes in, we're starting today, and it's right in Lent that we're doing this, and I introduced the idea of Lent to the youth group last week, and we talked about what it is, and how it's a time for reflection, and so kind of over the past 2 weeks, I've had these two ideas running around in my brain. Lent is it's a time for reflection. It is. I actually like Lent a lot because it's six weeks. It's a nice period of time to be able to think and not worry if you still have to do something else. But it's a time to think about who we are, what we'd like to be, what God would like us to be, and how we're doing so far. And it's 6 weeks, which is really, like I said, it's a nice amount of time. And then I was thinking about the garden as well. And I was thinking about how it's easy with children to talk about people and gardens and how to have that idea of being stewardship with people, because there's that image that they're going to do it today. Using the story of the Sower, that image of plants and the analogy with people about how plants need to have good fertile soil and how people need to have a good fertile soil as well in which to grow and flourish. And the story that I'm doing today is that parable of the sower. And so they're going to look and actually going to, their craft today is to start the garden, but to start some plants in fertile soil, just like the sower did. He threw the seeds, and some seeds went into fertile soil. Some seeds went onto rocky ground. Some seeds went into places where there were lots and lots of weeds. And some seeds fell on the path where they were then eaten by birds. And so what they're going to be talking about today during Sunday school, as they do the craft together, is they're going to plant seeds, some in fertile soil, thanks to walnut and potting soil, it's there year round. So they're going to plant some in potting soil, they're going to plant some in sand or rocks, and I couldn't find any weeds at Walmart, but they're going to plant some in soil, but then pour pesticide on, like they'll probably spray it with Windex or dish soap or something. Miriam's going to decide what would be the safest, and then they're going to see over time. So how is this? Which ones grow? Which ones grow the best? They're going to talk about which ones thrive. I'm really hoping the ones with the pesticide do not thrive. Just, it's always nice when your experiments go according to plan. But they're going to do this over time, and they're going to take the plants to someone's house, and then we'll wait and come back in a month, and we're going to see how everything's doing. And all the ones that are healthy will go into our garden in the spring, and the ones that are not, that don't thrive, we're going to talk about why they didn't thrive. And we're going to talk to you about people. So this means, and these are questions I realized when I was preparing the service, was that there are two questions that, although I was preparing them for Sunday school, they're questions that are as pertinent for me as an adult as they are for children, children who were 4, and I'm trying to think of the youngest of 4, yes, the oldest, the youngest in there today. That has pertinent questions. So in our lives, what are the rocks? What are the weeds? What are the pesticides? And am I in a place where it is fertile soil as a person? Am I in an environment that is helping me grow? Is it helping me be the person that God wants me to be? Is it helping me achieve all those things that God would like me to do? Or am I in a place that has a few too many rocks and stones? Am I in a place where there's a bit of pesticide lying around and it's going to, well, it's not pesticide for people, but is it a place that is bad for me? Am I just in a place where there's nothing? Am I on a path where I'm exposed, ready for the metaphorical birds to come and eat me? And I was thinking about this, this is actually quite a complex question. It's easy when you're talking to children about, well, what do people need to grow? Well, kids come up with the very concrete answers, right? They'll come up with, I hope, they'll come up with, well, I need food, and I need things to drink, and I need to be warm, and I need clothes, and I need shelter, and, they'll come up with friends eventually. But as an adult, we start to become a little more abstract and a little more thoughtful and in depth about where do I grow the best? What do I need to grow even better than I am right now? And so I was thinking of this a little bit, and I was trying to think, well, when do I feel the most out of place? Because sometimes that's a good place to start. Why do I just feel like I'm not myself? I know, for example, that there are some, I'm going to use work as one of my places, because I'm there a fair bit. There's some colleagues, when I'm with them, I'm relaxed and I'm comfortable, and they challenge me, but it's in a good way, and I feel like I can be me with them. And there are some of my colleagues who I sit with, and I become very, very stressed when I'm around them because they're very challenging, but in a very, very critical way. But then often they're not just critical about me, they're critical about everything. So I know that for me, one of the rocks that I try to avoid now is people who are negative about everything. Yes, this person comes from a place of brokenness, and the person could use a little more optimism and light in their life and some of God's grace. But the effect on me, if I stay with them too much, is also bad. And then figuring out, well, how do I still be nice and courteous to that person without it affecting me and stopping me from doing the job that I want to do? That's just work. And at work it's easy because I can go home at the end of the day and I can, if I don't want to talk to someone at work, generally I can avoid it. At home it's a little bit harder because there are people around and people can live complicated beings. We can be in a good mood and a bad mood all at the same time. I don't get that. I still don't understand how it happens. But figuring out who are the people around us who are helpful, challenge us to grow, but who don't stomp on us while criticizing the way we're doing things right now. Ultimately, the question is, where will I grow best? And what do I have to do to make my growing soil as fertile, as weed-free, as rock-free, and as bird-free as possible? And so as the kids are learning about growing in healthy environments today, I'd like to suggest that a challenge for this week for all of us is to reflect on our lives as we go through Lent and we reflect, and consider those environments that help us grow, that don't help us grow, and what we can do to make us grow better as we go through this life with God's grace.